Alive! Yeah, I'm just my volume real quick. But I think we are good. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. It's a pretty late match for the first day in Sunday. Pretty late first match for the first day in Sunday, but it probably might be. But personally, I think this should be my favorite match. So, I'm gonna wait up for a bit. As the announcements did just come out. Welcome for those in the VOD. We're gonna get Sophie Twilight versus Haemoffy. So both of the high seeds, top 1 and top 2, were knocked down to the losers bracket. And now they're gonna fight for their place, for a chance to win it all in the tournament. Unfortunately, we won't be seeing one of them come out of the tournament alive here, in metaphorical terms, but we're gonna see what could be the top 2 duke it out, and unfortunately both players do not have a warm-up scent, and so we're just gonna go straight down to the rolls, and Sophie Twilight wins it first. We're gonna see a HD1 and a kitty foil ban for FM2. So, looks like we're gonna have a quick match for for the stream here. So welcome. And instantly we're gonna get into one of the the best maps here, HR2, with only one record throughout the whole tournament, and it's gonna be Nitrium's best map here. Oh, I'm actually excited about this. Sophie Twilight and Haemoffy are both really good players. And even though that they're ranked top 1 and top 2 in the tournament, they have always opted out for going HDHR for the free mods. They've only stuck to a single mod throughout the tournament. Haemoffy and Sophie Twilight have some skill in hidden, but they still opt in for Hard Rock only. And what could be the best Hard Rock 2 match, but we'll have to see. So, neither player did ban HR2, so we're gonna have to see this map get played. But here we go. I do believe that Sophie Twilight might have a better chance at this, because I remember in the round of 16, or actually the quarterfinals, he HR'd FM3. And actually that map is very fast. We're gonna get up with Haemoffy early on with the 100s here. But let's see if Sophie Twilight will also make some mistakes further on. But for now, he's keeping it up with an SS. Oh, jamming on the first part here. But for now, Haemoffy is keeping up a pretty strange UR while Sophie Twilight is hitting them pretty early. A few more 100s for Haemoffy brings up this lead to about 4x100, make it 5. While he's struggling to keep his accuracy up to 99. But Sophie Twilight breaks his SS on the first quarter of the map. Reaching up halfway, both players are keeping some relatively good accuracy, while Sophie Twilight is slightly better. But unfortunately, he does get another 100, and Haemoffy is working on that 99 back. Bringing back this lead as both players keeping that FC. We're gonna get into the long break, and Haemoffy knows that he is behind Sophie Twilight right now. But as the map goes, we're gonna get into the Ki section pretty soon, and the Ki section is super fast. the weird snappings, and everything in between. Haemoffy finally reaching that 99 act, while Sophie Twilight still keeping that high accuracy. Both players keeping an FC to the last quarter of the map, but Sophie Twilight in the lead with a gigantic point lead as Haemoffy goes for a big miss at the end of the map. We're gonna have to see Sophie Twilight go for a miss here for any chance of a comeback, but with this skill, we're probably not gonna see that. Getting the last Ki, the speed ups on the last part of the map. He has to hold this. A few more 100s for the actor, reaching up to 92, but there's not much map, and Haemoffy misses on the last stream. Sophie Twilight takes the point with a gigantic athlete, a dominant score as well. I think just behind Nitrium's score of around 5x100. A really good pick. Oh, moving on. Haemoffy instantly goes for HD2. We're gonna get all of the hard maps already in. So Haemoffy challenging Sophie Twilight's HD ability. We're gonna wait for the players to get ready. But for now, a good score. And Twilight gets a point here. It might be the tide sticking onto his favor. But for now, we're gonna have to see how well Sophie Twilight deals with the hidden mod. Haemoffy has a lot of skill for hidden as well. He's a pretty good all-around. Has an all-around skill set. But Sophie Twilight going on to the early 100s. And a bit more for insurance here. It drops down to a 93 on the first slice of the map. Hitting those notes pretty late. It actually drops to about 80, 89, 89, and unfortunately he misses on one section there. Boy, Haemoffy has a big lead. And unfortunately Sophie Twilight is misreading on a lot of those sections. Oh, he's having a lot of trouble here. Oh boy. Are we gonna see a Sophie Twilight failure on HD2? That is a surprising weak point for Sophie Twilight. On almost all of his matches, HD was never picked by the players because it's a relatively avoided mod, but who knew that Sophie Twilight had some trouble playing hidden? And let's go for the slow section here. We'll go BPM change. 1-3, Sophie Twilight hitting them pretty late. Haemoffy still adjusting pretty well, coming up with the 99 accuracy. Oh, more syncing issue. Based on those KI sections. Personally, I feel like the KI, and especially when the burst comes, it kind of like distracts you for a second. And it usually makes me miss most of the time. But Haemoffy coming through that slow section with just some act drops, keeping his FC. But unfortunately, Sophie Twilight's overall score is just waning. And Haemoffy holding on with about 400,000 lead. Haemoffy takes the point back with ease. Might be a strong suit for him here. up with a 98 score, but that will be all of the HDs for this match, and it goes to Haemoffy's side. Listen. Oh, we're gonna get DT2. Sophie Twilight moving on to the DTs. If I remember correctly, his score versus Neft here was pretty good. Was it Neft's score that beat him? I'm not really sure. But this might be an interesting because Haemoffy has a relatively okay record with DT. He abused DT versus Nitrium here, which gave him a lot of advantage in terms of score. So this might be a tough match for Sophie Twilight if he cannot keep his accuracy up in the whole DT showcase. We might see a breakpoint pretty much soon, and Sophie Twilight, a lot of accuracy drops for both players, but Haemoffy comes up in the end with just a slight act lead, but he drops it with a few more 100s that he does not like. Sophie Twilight comes up with a 97 as he finally starts to stabilize. Haemoffy still playing a bit of catch up after a bit of accuracy drop early on in the song. Sophie Twilight working on a 98 while Haemoffy as well, but unfortunately Sophie Twilight misses. He drops his accuracy down to 97.2, and Haemoffy has to keep his accuracy up. He's still working on it, but boy is he having trouble halfway through the map. Both players equal in accuracy. Some started getting better, but unfortunately that miss and combo advantage is on Haemoffy's side. Oh boy, a few more 100s to kind of like wane the score lead just a little bit, and this is looking a little bit scary for Haemoffy. He still has to keep his accuracy. He has to hold this. He has a tiny lead. He just has to hold this mono section to the end, and he does with just barely about 5k difference. Only two 100s would have gotten the lead back to Sophie Twilight. Good score for both players, even though that 1x miss did cost him the match. But Haemoffy takes the breakpoint. Combos, pretty good. Breakpoint and his pick next. Haemoffy has a chance to give up a big lead versus Sophie Twilight. So his next pick might be important. And he goes for no mod 5. We're gonna get the gimmick. The good old gimmick. You can take your time. You can choose your words. Let me down real easy. Let me down real easy. Well, I'm doing just fine. I'll wait for the players to get ready, and we're just gonna jam for a second here. Yeah. Looking about, I feel like for this, Sophie Twilight might have some advantage with a lot of the HRs. But they're clearly saving the free mods for probably the last part of the tournament here. And Haemoffy, unfortunately, having trouble with those slow sections. As hitting those notes a little too early, probably too used about the HRSVs here. Here, gimmick section. Sophie Twilight with a slight accuracy lead, but both players are kind of having a little bit of trouble with those bar lines. Kind of, oh boy, Sophie Twilight misreads a section and the lead goes back to Haemoffy. But if he keeps on getting these 100s, this lead might just disappear in a flash. Here we go, the mono section. Both players are alternating it. Sophie Twilight unable to adjust to the speed boost, and he drops down to 89. Here we go, cat and dons. Alright, both players hit that speed section, and now we're gonna get into the Ki with the big dons. Any kind of combo drop here is probably what Sophie Twilight wants from Haemoffy. But Haemoffy working on that FC throughout the map. Both players hitting that triplet into the fast SV Dawn. And now holding on with about 80k. Actually, never mind, 150,000 as Haemoffy takes the third point with some poise. An FC and a relatively good accuracy for the gimmick pick. And it's gonna be 1-3, the lead of Haemoffy. Sophie Twilight in a bit of a bind, but he still has a chance of taking it all back, as it's gonna be his pick to try and take back any sort of lead. Oh, we're gonna get DT1. Sophie Twilight did risk that NM5. It's pretty slow, and he did manage to get out a good score in the end, but we're gonna have to see if this DT1 pick might end up being a strong pick for Sophie. This is a relatively different DT pick, as it's pretty slow in terms of SP. The high OD as well will be a bit of a trouble for both players. But we'll see, will Sophie Twilight manage to get through this? And map's gonna start pretty soon. Well, first one to drop is Haemoffy again. It's been an alternate between both players on the first one to drop the accuracy. It always has been the start of the map. Oh, accuracy is equal now after another 100 for Sophie Twilight. Oh, a few more for Haemoffy, and the lead leads on to Sophie Twilight. About 98.7. And unfortunately, a few more act drops for Sophie Twilight brings back the lead to Haemoffy. It's going to be back and forth. So Haemoffy has to hold a bit of accuracy. But for now, the UR is all over the place for both players. And the lead is just tiny. And moves on to Sophie Twilight, as both accuracies are kind of equal now. But it's still leading on to Sophie Twilight, as there's just a little bit more 100s that Haemoffy doesn't want. We're going to get through halfway, and the lead is just about high enough for Sophie Twilight, but a few more 100s on his side lose this lead. Both players just back and forth on this accuracy battle. This DT pick is having so much trouble. But Sophie Twilight inches out in the end, but we're gonna get into the Ki section. Let's see how players deal with this. Sophie Twilight just grabbing that lead by a hair. But I think Haemoffy missed some finishers there. So we're gonna have a bit of a point lead just for Sophie Twilight due to that finisher miss. Oh, a few more 100s. Urgas, Ki. A few more duplets, and the lead is going about 10,000 now. We're gonna have to see Sophie Twilight get a big miss or a few gigantic act drops. And Haemoffy is having so much trouble keeping his accuracy. Final section, there's not much map left. Oh, Sophie Twilight with some act drops, but unfortunately he has a big point lead against Haemoffy. He'll manage this. He'll take the point for just about 20,000. It's gonna be 2-3. It's Haemoffy's pick though, so he still has a lead and a chance to win it all without hitting tiebreaker. Oh, I think we're gonna get NM3. Haemoffy, just after just barely losing DT1, decides to go for the second slow pick, Retrograde. Gonna wait up for the players to get ready, as we're gonna see. Map is gonna start. Looking about this, I do think that Sophie Twilight has a better chance on this, as he did perform well in DT1. But for now, 100s across the board, but Haemoffy goes on for the first 100 once again, early on in the song. A little lead to Sophie Twilight, but both keeping this FC. We're gonna have to see Haemoffy stabilize a little bit here for any chance. So Sophie Twilight is still keeping that accuracy way over Haemoffy's head. Oh, Sophie Twilight with a few 100s brings his accuracy down to 19.5. Both keeping this FC. Sophie Twilight, big accuracy. But Haemoffy is slowly working on 99. He is on the chance of just hoping Sophie Twilight just makes a mistake. And if so, he takes back his lead. It's gonna be anyone's match if Sophie Twilight does anything wrong here. But Haemoffy still drops accuracy down just a little bit more. And unfortunately, he misses Haemoffy. Is that a misread? I am not sure. Sophie Twilight holds on with about 40k. This is gonna be tough. But we're gonna see this KD section at the end. We're gonna have to see how both players deal with this. Probably the toughest section of this map, and it's prone for a lot of players to miss on this. But is it going to be Sophie Twilight's caliber to hit these? And no, we're not going to get that. Sophie Twilight gets an early miss. Is it going to be enough for Haemoffy to take back this lead? And we're just going to see that. The last parts of the map, Haemoffy just hitting those notes, and unfortunately Sophie Twilight crashes on the last part of the map. 95 accuracy, and Haemoffy steals this point back. What a what a section. Sophie Twilight would have had the chance of taking that, but unfortunately those patterns are kind of tough. So Haemoffy leads on with a 2-4 score. Was that his first time playing out the map? A pretty clutch, yeah, a pretty clutch score. Oh, Spiky Boy. Good map. So Spiky Boy as a map itself provides a bit of tech toward the start and around the end. Oh, excuse me. Overall, the map is relatively difficult, but for both of the skill sets on Sophie, Twilight, and Haemoffy, we might see a pretty close match, as I think both players are no stranger to tech. Though this map provides us the highest star rating apart from the tiebreaker on the whole map mode. You know, for a big 4-star. And for a good reason. The map itself does have a lot of techie snappings and some SV changes, but it's not as crazy as the other maps. It provides a nice middle ground, but a difficult map nonetheless. Bro, instant act drop Haemoffy. And so Twilight leads on with just 1x100. Let's see if he drops this or he keeps the SS throughout the map. And he loses it, but Haemoffy drops as well. Still keeping the same lead back towards Sophie Twilight. Wait, are both players full ulting this? Wait, that's kind of cool. And unfortunately, Sophie Twilight makes a mistake. Early on, the first quarter of the map, Haemoffy takes back this lead and a bit more for measure. Sophie Twilight did not want that. Not at all. He drops his actions down to 98 and Haemoffy comes up with this gigantic lead around the first half of the map. Haemoffy keeping that FC over his head and... Oh, another misread for Sophie Twilight. That is... Yeah, a tough run for him. He has to stabilize for any kind of chance of a comeback here. And Haemoffy holding on with pretty much comforting 99.3. Yeah, a bit of nerves maybe. Now, for Crow in the chat, I have done a lot of commentators curses throughout the tournament. Oh, we're gonna get into the last slice, and Sophie leads on with about 60,000. Gonna have to see Haemoffy miss for any kind of chances. But we're not gonna see that as Haemoffy's building his accuracy. Moving on, a really good score on No Mod 4. The last parts of the map, working on that 980k, the same lead as before, same amount of 100s, but unfortunately those 4 choke misses kind of brought Sophie Twilight down a peg. And Haemoffy takes the match, takes up until match point here. And who's gonna be the next pick? It's gonna be Haemoffy. He's gonna win that break point. And Sophie Twilight's back is on the wall. He has to be... Oh no, it was a finger lock. Very unfortunate. But now Haemoffy has a lot of lead. And probably the momentum on his side. But the moment Sophie... Oh. And there we go. Sorry about that. The client kinda went crazy. So the momentum is definitely Haemoffy's side. But if Sophie Twilight wins this breakpoint on FM1, the momentum might completely change and it might domino effect, and we might see pretty good tiebreaker here. That's if a big if Sophie Twilight wins the next three points. So, both players, even though are ranked one of the highest, Sophie Twilight being ranked 1, Haemoffy being 2nd, both players kind of opt out for HDHR. So, if ever the chance we're gonna see an HDHR pick for one of the players, it means that they're kind of determined. They want to take all of their chances here. Go for a high risk, high reward. If not, we're gonna see a pretty close fight. Maybe both HRs? HDHR. All I know for sure, Sophie Twilight is not touching HD at all. Oh, HR for Sophie Twilight, as we expected, and as Haemoffy syncs up, we're gonna see HDHR for Haemoffy. Oh, he's playing with a bit of confidence here. He knows it, and he's taking any chance that he can get. For now, this is the first time we're gonna see Haemoffy do an HDHR in the tournament. While Sophie Twilight, very, very consistent. So Haemoffy has to perform well with HDHR, as Sophie Twilight is not gonna give him any chances for this. Alright, maps are both synced up, and Sophie Twilight is on a tiny lead as Haemoffy is still having a bit of trouble keeping that accuracy. Note that HD, but oh, unfortunately, Sophie Twilight drops a bit of accuracy. And a bit more for measure. And now the accuracies are kind of equal. Now the mod advantage will show, as the scores are just slightly different, and oh, that is unfortunate. A big miss for Sophie Twilight. Haemoffy has a gigantic lead. And Sophie Twilight walks through the first section of HDHR pretty easily. Right, slow sections, tough for HD in these sections, but for now, both players kind of equal in accuracy. So the speed ups, and Haemoffy drops a bit more accuracy about that section, and here we go, the weird snappings. Haemoffy has to keep this. For now, he's keeping on with about 60k difference, and Sophie Twilight kind of recovering a bit. This section is really tough. Last quarter of the map, and Haemoffy still keeping that FC. And if ever Haemoffy goes over 1,060,000 on this map, it means Sophie Twilight never had a chance. He has played that map very well. We're gonna have to see, but for now he's working on it. A few more act drops that he didn't want, and score kind of drops down to 97, while Sophie Twilight is finally recovering, but we're on the last slice of the map. And Haemoffy is the first to reach that 1 million, I think. Here we go, 1 million in this. And fortunately, that's gonna be all of it, as Haemoffy wins the last point with an HDHR FC, 96.93. Not a bad score, but that is GG's for Sophie Twilight as we lose. Haemoffy 2-6. So the first seed is knocked out of the tournament by the second by the second seed nonetheless. Haemoffy advances on to the finals. A good performance for Haemoffy throughout the tournament. We're gonna have to see it around the end of the tournament as well. But congratulations for both players. Sophie Twilight making it pretty far throughout, but fortunately gets knocked out of the tournament and will not play for the rest of the match. GG's for everyone. I'm not sure if there's gonna be a next match depending on what the schedules are. But for now, thanks for watching the stream. Hopefully there is for Polymer Red and Arcturus at about 3 hours from now, 8 o'clock. But once again, that is gonna be the match, Sophie Twilight versus Haemoffy. Thanks for watching the stream, everyone, and I'll see you around 8.